Yes, the start streaming button has been pressed. We're not allowed to say
hun-
any bad words anymore. Like Bingus.
The 100-line last defense, is that what it's called?
Huh?
Last Defense Academy. Oh shit! Oh my god. Okay, so if I'm gonna play this game, then I need you to like do some voice acting with me.
Oh, listen, I pulled you in here when we're both sick.
Look at these frickin' Danganronpa characters.
Jesus
Well,
fucking Christ.
that one there.
Hang on, let me see that.
Do it. Do
Oh,
it. Just
come on,
pretend like
do
you're
it,
in
do
an
it.
I love her.
Why does she have a tattoo of teeth on her mouth?
I don't. Oh my god, she looks fucking crazy. I love it.
It's Strafey, we can't reveal my new model yet. Jesus. Yeah, from what I'm looking at here, it looks like it's a Fire Emblem type thing.
Ooh.
I'm just looking at like
Yeah,
the
it said like RPG or something.
Yeah, yeah.
This bitch is crazy.
This bitch crazy, holy shit. Oh my god, what? I can't believe it. But welcome on in, chat. Welcome to T6 Scottish Women Armed. Play of the Devil. There is an epilepsy warning here. In order to forgive our more epileptic members, Stripey and I will be sharing this giant iced coffee.
Yes.
As you can
Very
see,
cool.
we have
Very
censored our, at least, so like it's very pixelated on like the search engine I use to check chat, right? So it just looks like as the straw comes out, it's censored.
The fuck? Censored straw.
Censored
Got
straw.
a little straw in here.
We're not allowed to show the straw, chat. It's against the law.
Can't be having straws in this stream.
Can't be having straws up in here. But yes, welcome to Of the Devil, a lovely little game about robot racism. Anyway, let me just go to the gamer screen. And I forgot to set my capture to the game. I definitely wasn't still on about. What are you talking? Huh? What? Strafey! Thank you for subscribing for 5 months.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Your money will be put to poor usage at buying all of my friends the things they want.
Like the game that you freaking sent me that I was meant to buy for you. Damn it, Faes.
Hang on. My dog is barking at the door. What is it, brother?
Gremlin?
But yes.
Oh,
Listen, if I can strike first and make my friends happy, I will. Chat, we call it a kindness first assault.
Oh, okay, I'm back. Oh
Welcome
my god,
back.
I am sweaty.
Oi.
I don't know why.
Hang on, would you like this
That's
iced
cool.
coffee to help with the sweat?
Yeah, just pour it down my booba. And
Hang on,
that'll
here
be
we go. I got this. But how the fuck do I rotate things again?
Good question. Is it not like you hold down CTRL and
Wait, there it is! I was holding down shift accidentally. There you go, Steffi.
$7.
$7.
It didn't cost $7. Jesus.
No way. Jesus fucking Christ, like. So I've been getting, like, Starbucks more often when I'm at work, right? And our I've been
Cancel
DoorDashing it.
her. Cancel her.
Cancelled because I need like 80 shots of espresso.
Oh god. I tried espresso once and oh my god, it is not for me.
I know, like, I can understand people like being like, no, espresso is not for me. Like, I was driving home from an interview and I was like, I haven't had coffee yet today, and it's noon. I'm gonna have some espresso. And they tried it, was like, that's not good. I want more of it. So anyway, it's very hard to find anywhere that will do like multi shots of espresso without looking at me weird.
Okay, hopefully you can't hear the dog in the background.
Oh, the only dog they're gonna be able to hear is my dog.
She must have seen a cat at the window.
But yes, chat, welcome on into of the devil, yes. We're gonna do episode 1. Actually, wait, no, we didn't get to do episode 0 on stream. Do we want to do episode 0 or episode 1?
Was episode 0 like what we already did?
Yeah, that was the demo case.
Good question, because last time you didn't get the footage for...
That is true. We can go ahead and get the footage for that.
Yeah. Yeah, we could speedrun. I mean, I've already forgotten everything that happened, so I'll be reacting like it's brand new.
It's been like, how many months now?
Oh, God. A long time. By
Yeah,
the way, are you meant to be sharing the game with? Oh wait, you are. Oh my god.
Yes, I am meant to be sharing the game.
I think I need an espresso.
Hang on, let me give you some more of this $7. Open wide.
Oh, starts dancing.
That's what the $7 will do for you. Hang on, we'll just stick this directly into your ear to make it go faster.
Jesus Christ. Straight to the brain.
Straight to the... The $7 got stuck on my slave. But yes, let's do episode 0 real quick. Again, there's going to be a quick epilepsy warning for this. And I do not guarantee that we will complete episode 0 this time, because we're both a little bit sick. Rain sizzles up the neon above me. Summer shower creates a noted uptick in the flickering of holograms and down the street. The slight blunting of the night's ambience. Emphasis on slight. Lights, cameras, and constant noise. This city's got insomnia. With not even heart rate to prove it. I feel like 50s noir detective for this. There's no escaping the second-hand energy of all, but I'm pretty acclimated. Just a wave of worries cresting the surface while I hold my breath deep lower. Besides, a microdose of nightlife anxiety suits my mood just fine. So if I'm not careful, this client of mine is going to die in jail.
Plot twist, they're already dead.
Plot twist, we murdered them. Morgan, criminal attorney. Oh, I love the fade art. It's hard to get away with murder these days. People are still presumed innocent, at least on paper. But by the time they're in cuffs, there's hardly any shadows of doubt left. The whole world's lit up, mapped out, never unknown and always online. Whether it's incandescent or neon or hollow, whether it's LCD, LED, or just the nearest phone screen, there's a light shining on every last pixel of the map. Someone's always watching. Solitudes are rarity, anonymity is scarce, and criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. So you take whatever clients you can get. You don't balk at public defender work, no matter who they are. And should you find yourself in one of the last dark quiet corners left in the whole world, well, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Not that there's anything else much I can do until... My phone. Counselor, your public defender contract has been approved. You're expected at the 254th precinct. Present your ID at the door to enter. Arrive at least 15 minutes early. I'll try.
Love heart.
Just talking to an AI and leaving a heart.
Me. Me with my Sephiroth AI.
So, chat, you don't know this, but I'm gonna call myself out on this.
Oh.
So, Stevie asked me to nudge her when it was getting close to this time. So what I did is I sent her a gif of Sephiroth and it's like, summoning noises.
It summoned me a lot faster than it would if you didn't put the Sephiroth there, let me tell you.
Yeah. So the paperwork came through. It's nearly 3:15 now. 19 minutes since I took the job. Probably makes about 2 hours since they finally got smart enough to ask for a layout. They're really smart, they'll have used that time to get some rest. So now that I'm here, things are going to get busy. Of the devil!
So, no.
And he shall appear.
We don't need tutorials.
We don't need no stinking tutorials. We played fucking Sons of the Forest on the hardest difficulty with no tutorial.
Exactly. And we're doing just great.
We're doing just fine. Cuts back to us starving to death in the forest. God, we still need art of that, like, it's fine, there's a cannibal, but the water's right here. Precinct 254. It's a goddamn ghost town. Nothing but a hologram for a welcoming party.
Oh yeah, was I the hologram last time?
I think you were. I think you were the broken hologram because somebody just smashed the screen.
That's quite funny because I was also the train thing in the Sonic game.
That is true. You were the train. I think we are decided you to be the hologram because you were the train in Sonic.
Yeah.
I'm here about a homicide. Hey, Clayton's right, damned. I think they tell you the look what somebody is harmed. This one worked off ours. But whatever, if I'm that unimportant, they've got no right to complain if I take my sweet time getting checked in. And I should take my time. Information's like cash in my line of work. Gotta spend it to make it. And if you're flat broke, no one will give a shit what you have to say. So let's see if I can't poke around and shake some change lace. I'm also gonna close my door real quick. I have closed my door. You no longer need to hang on. A Daisy-Pass, all about it.
Ooh.
Oh. Gotta spend it to make it. Even when they're more advertisement than articles, they'll still be informative. In a very roundabout corporate propaganda type of way. Preferably fluid. Considering their repair system. Nearing efforts will be refocused on maintenance and expansion of the hybrid infrastructure system.
If I remember correctly, the yellow writing is important stuff that we should actually read. I'll leave you to read.
Civil engineering efforts will be refocused on maintenance and expansion of the hybrid super infrastructure system. The canopy high above our city streets. Councilman's long campaign of finance irregularities. Woo! And the canopy's major backer, City Hall. Local government critics I consider it to be an eyesore. From corporations alike have little choice now for how they complete their morning commute. Solutions abroad, tech startup Subterra made headlines last year with a radical proposal for a system of personal submarine taxi points. So came in disappointing. 3,359% over budget.
Holy shit.
Holy, how do you fuck up that badly? But one council member was quoted as calling their system mind-boggling, wasteful, and impractical in the extreme. Appears you have 0 for the articles remaining this month. Please verify your account information or it's... I think you're reading the stories that matter.
To fucking pay for everything these days.
Yeah. Ballsy of them putting a fucking paywall there. So if I reach for my wall after having to read a word like aesthetical. Besides, I got the gist of it. The takeaway is that the city will be focused on its efforts on the canopy. Why? There'll be increased scrutiny around the city canopy now. There's no canopy and there is no plan B. It's a massive project with a massive budget. Finds the pockets of a lot of people, big and small. None of them appreciate the bad press at the moment. Not when Councilman Long's already thoroughly chummed the waters. An actual police lineup. Hello, Pepper.
Hey, hey.
Eat a pup. How you doing,
By
Pepper?
the way, I did notice Pepper also has nuclear nightmare, so nudge nudge.
Nudge, nudge.
Nudge nudge.
Nudge, nudge. We'll have to put them into the police lineup. Like I walked into a museum. The museums tend to feel expensive and clean. Dusty, forgotten, and probably lots of unpacked boxes. This homicide department is more like an attic. Hard to believe they are ever so busy that they had witnesses making IDs in the lobby. Then again, it's hard to believe they're ever doing lineups in the first place. Are you certain? Oh boy! Wasn't it dark? Do you know during dramatic events, memory formation is blah blah blah. Poking holes in that set must have been like shooting fish in a barrel. All during this billable hours. One day I can all get untongue-tied. Nuclear nightmare scare. See, good.
Good. Oh, good morning, Mala. You must have just woken up.
Aye. But there's no room
Rise
to
and
sort out
shine.
anymore. Not when a modded witness can just submit their testimony as video recording. Soon their phone didn't automatically file a police report for them. Yeah, oops. I've stolen Stripey and given her $7.
Mm-hmm. $7 of coffee.
$7 of coffee. Hell yeah. High traffic hallways, utilitarian furniture, and multiple screen stations. Pragmatic brutalism. So textbook it could teach a freshman level architecture. You can almost hear the building drone on and on and on. Like concrete and iron and hard right angles. Still planning equivalent of battle scars. For a fight won so long ago, they're starting to look ridiculous. How you doing, Malar? I'm sure it was all very imposing back when it was built. Walking in here now with crime rates where they are. It's like a hospital ward for heavy-handedness.
By the way, I know we skipped the tutorial, which is so us, but do you remember, like, what the chips are for?
I think they're like our arm. They're a credit all our arm. Ace Attorney. You can get a certain amount of things wrong.
Oh, okay.
I think we also have a phone. Deal.
We got 4.
Got 4 tokens.
Classic
Classic
no tutorial
tutorial
woman.
We're doing alright. I have like a stomach flu and strifey.
I am recovering from, I think it's COVID, because last night my taste and smell just poofed.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah. It went bye-bye.
You want back?
While I was eating chocolate too, I was very, very upset.
No!
You got? Is that a little thing you got for playing the demo?
Yeah.
Nice. A fidget
Oh,
tubby.
we have
Oh
like
my
loads
god,
of sword carrot.
the fidget tubbies.
The
Remember
fidget
the fidget tubbies?
Hang on. Oh wait, I remember this. Yes.
Wait.
Okay.
The one above that, Fran. Is that's who I voiced, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the little shit kid.
Yeah, the little shit. Oh, that is adorable.
Oh, this character is cute.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I remember Emma.
Mhm. Our lesbian crush.
Yeah. Oh, that one. That one is it.
That's it. It's so
that one is so Faes coded. Like, do you have an emote that looks like that? I feel like
no, I need to get new emotes and I need one of those to be it.
You need one of those. It's like a gremlin. A gremlin cat.
The best I have for a like a wee cat girl. Hang on. I'm gonna put this in chat. Is my raise emote, which is just my Final Fantasy 14 character. See here. The only thing left to examine is this bitch.
This bitch.
This bitch. The meeting's cracked in the corner. Looks fab, but my phone's made of the same stuff, and I'm rolling the dice every time it falls off the sword bar. Could probably null the warranty on one of these things with a loud sneeze. It's not broken entirely. You know, this
Don't break
still...
me.
Hmm?
Don't break me. Not with a sneeze.
Even at this hour, it's still dutifully scrolling through its notifications. It's the usual 1-to-1 ratio of public health alerts and inoffensive pop culture trivia that you can always get served at Stapleton's. But there is a few missing parts too. 1 year of silver plan coverage, courtesy of Cactus reward for any. Silver's no joke. Family must be getting desperate. Alright. Taking in all the scenery and learned as much as I can here. Time to get checked in.
Da da da.
Beat up fine, so far so good.
Good morning.
Morgan here for the public defender contract.
Could you please provide your name and... Great! Please stand still for a moment.
I wouldn't call intake hollows charming, more like harmless. I will have you know that the person voicing this intake hollow is very charming.
I thought you were gonna say, like, harmful or something. I'm like, yeah.
Harmful. She has a gun! That's probably what the designers are aiming for. Also, I do love how the hollow looks like it's a sketch of the characters.
Hmm.
Like, if you look at the line work versus like Morgan's line work.
The pockets look like eyes too. Look at the little face.
That's probably what the designers are aiming for. People don't mind a quirk or two in their text, so long as it never speaks out of turn.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble placing you.
Stabs her.
Could you please provide your name and date of birth?
So far, so good, wasn't it? Just scan my face. Didn't she scan my face as soon as I walked in here?
Dot, dot, dot. Yes.
So, don't you already know who I am?
Dot, dot, dot. Yes.
So the reason you're asking to see if I'll lie.
Impersonating an officer of the court is a felony.
Thank you for remaining vigilant. Say, why don't you scan my ID card?
Great. Now, could you just confirm your date of birth for me?
Why should they even bother asking? Birthday's on the damn ID card and my profile. Two world-class airheads get this question wrong. Let's see our profile real quick. Puzzle, smoking, wooden furniture, commercials, hairdressers, jogging. I can fall asleep in any position. Oh.
Decaf coffee. Oh my god.
Ugh, disgusting. Whiskey sour. Eh?
Is she Scottish?
She might be. She might be Scottish.
She's got red hair and she likes whiskey sour.
Yeah, no, she might be Scottish. Made coffee. It's a good thing we're both Scottish and wasted today. I just realised the irony that I am also, like, IRL, a ginger.
Yeah. This character fits you so well.
I too am a murderer attorney. My birthday's December 26th. October 25th! December 26th.
Perfect. Good morning, Morgan Counselor. Thank you for your timely arrival and for taking on this public defender contract. If you're ready to speak to your client, you can proceed to Counseling Quarter 3C.
How are we calling it now? You mean the interrogation room?
I'm sorry to have caused any confusion. My vocabulary... My vocabulary is regularly updated to better reflect state standards.
Don't sweat it. Can't keep track of everything you euphemism either. I could call it the involuntary wellness check in the room if they'd like. Doesn't change the way it makes a person feel. Sitting in a cycled box of one-way panels. None to see but their own reflection dully warped across gunmetal walls.
Morgan Counselor, can I help you with anything else?
Why the disrepair? I know the city's not terribly concerned with the lawyer words, but this is a police station. Why is it so goddamn dusty?
This facility is currently undergoing renovations.
Since when? The 60s?
It has been 22 months since the timetable was last updated.
You really don't see a lot of action around here, do they?
I'm sorry for any inconvenience you might have encountered.
I'm adaptable. What about you? You ever gonna fix that crack? ...
Thank you for asking. It has not interfered with my work.
Well, that's all that matters, right? Nice. That'll be all, thank you.
You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office through the door to your right.
Thanks. But I think it's just me for now, so could you go on? You could go on break if you like.
Automated dependents do not take breaks, Morgan Counselor.
Then what were you doing before I walked in? ...
You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office.
Through the door on the right, thank you. I don't get breaks, and they don't get in my jokes. It's usually humorous types that are the most fun to mess with anyway.
Dot.
Dot dot dot!
Eyes gone bad or something? Who was this again?
I don't know. A voice is coming from down the hall.
Compared to yours, probably.
Thank God I stopped for directions. A building this empty, the desk could have just told me to follow the echoes. The voice sounds older, rougher, and decidedly low energy. I'll be tired, voice. Appreciate you worrying about me.
Deja vu.
Deja vu,
Odd
deja vu.
forbid. Odd forbid I tried to be serious.
While the other rings with youthful indignation.
Not like her job is important or anything.
Definitely copes. And at this precinct, at this hour, they might be the only two living, breathing people in the whole complex.
Because why else would you bother to print all that out?
One document or 100 looks the same on a datapad. Anytime you question a suspect, you need to have a heavy file in hand. Makes them think you know them better than their priest, their mother,
Their big brother.
We're not allowed to talk about that. I wasn't gonna say that.
So how many of those sheets were blank then?
No red carpet tonight, officers. Oh, sorry
Which
about
was a
that,
good
ma'am.
cop.
Wait.
Which
No,
was the
she has
good
a yellow
cop?
outline.
But she doesn't seem like the kind who would say ma'am.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't seem like a good cop. Arm. They don't keep many extra hands around at these hours. Probably faster to let the desk handle intake anyway.
But mostly cheaper. You the lawyer?
I love how they have opposite outlines.
Yeah, I'm so fucking confused right now with
Yeah. I am Morgan Esquire. Pleased to meet you. Same here, Councillor. Team London. May the faith be with you. What's to homicide detective first class. Photography dive bars bang.
Bangs.
Bangs. Dislikes ties, pulling after hours work messages, listens to podcasts, hobby, pencil sketching, frequently running late. I love how he's just a noir detective. I say that a lot, but like, yeah.
Why is it my characters are always ...
Because you're secretly very mysterious, Rafie. And the ball of sunshine here is my partner, KayRay.
Ball of sunshine?
She certainly is. Do you want to read hers?
Let's see, October 19th, 162 centimeters, 63 kilograms, A minus. Rice limes, automoderate. Yeah. Dislikes liars, small plates, and cheap people. Enjoys watching product reviews, bad at games of chance. True. Right eye. Osiris Elite 86. Okay. So we have a...
Oh, she has a cyber eye.
We have a cyber eye.
Yeah, she's modded. Also, wait, hang on. She's the smartest one in the room, let's go!
Huh?
Sorry if you were kept waiting. Chatter between the departments has been hectic all night. It's no trouble. Gave me time to enjoy my last cigarette.
Cigarette? Like tobacco? What are you, 80?
She can't be more than a few years younger than me. We're the detectives in charge of this particular case. Looks like tonight we're also your humble guide to the illustrious homicide department. Apologies in advance for any cobwebs. Pretty sure I've seen this London character around the courthouse before. It's never struck me as more than just some old-timer. I suppose being an old-timer is an accomplishment in and of itself in his profession. Sunshine is definitely a new face though. Judging her posture and her attitude, 3 in the morning and her shirt still looks ironed. Freshly promoted, maybe. 2 whole detectives working at these hours. Sounds serious. Unless you're just the first to arrive on the scene. No, we're not nearly that timey. No, we suck. Uniforms responded to the emergency calls within a few minutes. Calls per hour. Must have been quite the commotion.
Look around. You think we're the first to arrive for anything?
She's not wrong. We really tapped after circumstances at the scene indicated involvement of an ongoing investigation.
Our ongoing investigation.
Not very subtle, is she? But may as well bite at this point. So you suspect this client of mine is involved in some separate criminal activity? Wait, did they really not? No, I guess they wouldn't put in a public defender's briefing.
Dot dot dot.
Look, consider it a little professional courtesy, a fair warning, yeah? That's the heartbreak killer in that room.
And we've got the bastard dead to rights. Is it dead or deed? I didn't even check what.
I think he was dead. Because, like, dead to
okay.
rights is, like, an actual phrase.
So if you're kind, you'll help him plead it out. And if you're smart, you'll pass the shitstorm on to some other night owl and go back to bed.
Fucking Fae.
Gremlin.
I'm not feeling particularly kind or smart at the moment, me all the time.
Dot dot dot.
So perhaps in the meantime, you'll be so polite as to fill me in about this heartbreak killer.
Dot dot. They cover utilities on the rock you live under.
Is there a problem? You're seriously not familiar with HK? Never heard of him. I've heard enough of him for a lifetime. That name's been plastered all over the city for weeks. The crimes wavering between breaking news and urban legend. The presumed goal is flip-flopping from unadulterated anarchy to unappreciated vigilantism. Street corners, and the media, on the net. Everyone's indulging in the exact kind of armchair detective speculation that I can't stand. But right now, I need to figure out exactly how much the police do or don't know. And when it comes to the cops, I always get better results by playing dumb than I do acting smart. I take it he's a repeat offender.
Was it the killer part that tipped you off?
You must be at least heard about it Mo. Media's gone crazy with it.
Along with everyone else.
One bullet straight through the heart. Body left to lie where it falls. Hence the name Heartbreak.
Ew. Favorite
Occupation
color,
criminal.
probably red.
So technically probably not into astrology.
How do we know that? How could we possibly know that they're not into astrology?
It's a mystery, everyone. Actually, hang on.
And what? Maybe they've killed someone from every zodiac sign.
Yeah. All of their victims have just been people who've been like, oh my god, I'm such a Pisces.
Yeah.
Hence the name Heartbreak. Not exactly creative, but it's the swirl of every other 100-word article out there. Catchiness trumps originality. What you won't read about online is that all 6 of HK's victims were shot by the same gun, without even needing to reload. Horrible to say, I know, but 6 for 6? That's pretty good shooting, isn't it? I bet HK has a 6-pack.
Huh? Huh?
Huh?
What were you saying?
I hear HK is super handsome, has a 6-pack.
Oh wait, who said that?
Me?
Oh, I thought it was chat. I was like, is my chat frozen?
Chai's interested in the case. And
Getting
about how cafe latte, the most mid coffee.
Mid. Hitting the bullseye at the shooting range is good shooting. Doing it 6 times in a row is great. But shooting 6 people with accuracy like that?
It's a whole different beast.
Takes a certain kind of monster. A real freak.
A real fucking freak!
A real freak. His pulse probably didn't even rise.
I see.
What drop?
Sounds horrific. I'm not going to be racist. That's a pretty terrifying thought. Should I start paying more attention to the news? I managed to miss 6 murders. Well, you can only blame yourself for missing 5. Pardon?
You're still not getting it? HK's 6th victim was found a few hours ago. When we caught the son of a bitch red-handed.
So you're convinced that my client is this heartbreak killer and tonight was just his latest crime? That's a serious accusation with very serious consequences. I'll take you have serious evidence to back it up.
I was being literal, counselor.
Huh?
Red-handed. When we found your client, he was covered in her blood.
Well, you didn't need to spit on me. That's not good. You say something sounds compelling.
Is that lawyer talk for open and shut?
But even if that's the case, that's just one crime scene make him look good for 6 murders. I keep forgetting about Nick from working. It's all in there. Discovery files and the arcs, of course. Join the local now on your phone. We'll turn everything over everything you need. I'll bet. Thanks for that, detective. I'll be sure to read it over. So the team, can I ask you some questions while I got you here?
The hell kind of attorney wants to interrogate the detectives?
This kind of attorney? You're just that pleasant.
Ugh.
Come on, sunshine. It's not like we're gonna be punching out anytime soon, right?
Whatever. Let your client stew an interrogation all night for all I care.
You mean the counselling course? We're at your disposal, counsellor. Parents, stark and uninvited. This must be racist,
Oh. Straight to the heart.
Shot to the heart! Keeping your workstation neat and tidy is admirable, but I can't spot a single mote of personalisation. She's so new that she hasn't had any time to unpack, or is she really that uptight and boring?
What?
Both, maybe? Shouldn't have cleaned up so much just for a little maid detective London. So, really? Maybe to guide to a filing system, or even just a stapler. Paper documents scattered about lazily alongside actual photographs. Either he's really old-fashioned or really paranoid about data leaks. Huh? And he doesn't look like the paranoid type. Sorry, what was that, Sonny? Well, orderliness aside, some things are better in paper, I'll give him that.
Polar opposites.
Aye? Opposites attract and make good partners in crime detectiving. Loose wire is missing panels in an aircon system that probably sweats more than other people. And the people it's supposed to kill.
Ew.
No room in the budget for making the office not look like shit. Seems to find a lot of belt tightening in a homicide. Maybe their operation would be this bare bones. Got a stunning clearance rate and they work fast. Guess the CAC's that and it seems their job is easy. Maybe their job is easy with our dear doting surveillance state eliminating so much of the footwork. If your wheels don't squeak, you don't get your palms greased. So homicide ends up with the only state department with a shrinking budget. Thumbing grains with the police force most unambitious and least popular. I feel kind of bad because you're voicing her and it's just like, oh yes, fuck Reyes!
Clickety click.
Clickety click. No electronic stock nodes. Suddenly 3%. Hi, many investors skeptical when they're now infamous. 2084. Oh, 2084. Trade convention Noble announced that it's feature over 50% organic components, so-called warm androids, which at the time we saw demand in the health, senior and childcare sectors, looked down upon as impractical to increase maintenance costs, cuts, scratches, sprays, and the like. Business groups might find warm androids controversial. No more business-focused minds feared the Noble was alienating its customers in industrial and military sectors. Consumers, users viewed their androids from across the room and not from above the factory floor. Decades proven wrong. Probability records. So we have androids that can be bruised now, which is wild. These once rare organic androids will completely replace their more robotic beasts in daily life within the next 3 to 5 years.
Am I an android? Is that why I have no personality and I'm so clean?
Oh no! You mean Reyes?
Yeah.
I don't think Reyes is.
Yeah, I am not an android because I am far from being white and clean.
Yeah! I was like, don't be mean to yourself! Also, you'd be a gynoid. Hey fam! Looks like you're logged in. You're not logged into this device. You want to put your account info so we can help keep you breathing?
So we can sell your data to scammers.
So these again. It's no wonder I can't spit without landing on a piece of noble tech these days. Especially not with the states involved. Don't know if they'll bait when it comes to warm androids, though. Government use, they're just too expensive. Just too expensive to justify. What am I thinking? No state's ever had a problem with spending money on overpriced crap. Okay. Nothing else jumps out right at me from around here. Got a better idea who I'm dealing with at least. Now I just need to check the crime scene data. Should have been sent a link. You've been granted all access to state files regarding case KL433511. Reply C to confirm. Confirm. You need to reply C in order to confirm. Am I talking to a person? I am an ultimate. Oh wait. I'll play this automated dependent.
Yeah.
I am an automated dependent. Ones are usually more polite. Our personalities are tailored to suit our users' preferences. The state likes you to be a little authoritarian. You need to reply. C. Say. It's case. It's case sensitive. Say. Thank you. Link. If I project from my phone. Are you ready for the major epilepsy thing, chat?
Oh jeez. We're going to the crime scene.
We're going to crime!
Danganronpa noise.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it is very Danganronpa art style.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see what the police have and what they think is important. Oh, okay, this is already, like, way different.
I was just thinking, oh, I remember this, and you're like, it's way different.
Well, yeah, because, like... We didn't used to be able to turn our heads. Also, everything seems a little bit less, explosive. You know? It's like, last time we played this, I got a wee bit of a headache from, like, this shit. Right? Because, like, it was, like, flashing green. And now it's just, like, it's just hot pink. Stand-up mirror shattered and knocked over. Real glass, no screens or cameras here. So hard. Hard enough to come undetached from its arm. Shards of glass are scattered far enough to land on the victim's body. Oh, that's a nice. The victim's body cause of death, ballistic trauma, class 4, blood loss, atrium and aorta, single gunshot wound to the heart. In brief, death was instantaneous. No injuries anywhere else, and no blood or skin under her nails. Blood spatter, forensics, and all that other good stuff tells me that she was shot from there. So the killer was standing in the doorway when they fired. The murder weapon, a revolver found right next to the body. 6 empty casings found in each of the 6 chambers. I mean, the gun's been fired 6 times. So the crime scene techs practically disassembled the damn thing. All they found were fingerprints belonging to my client. But were any of the fingerprints on the trigger? She swung the police with the murder weapon right in front of the body. I don't even know where to start. A highly prejudicial would be an understatement. Seems like the vase got tossed to the side at some point. Yeah, there's not a scratch on it. Must be pretty damn durable. Isn't art supposed to be delicate? Maybe it's making a statement. So the big ticket items. What about security? Looks like the apartment was unlocked all night. Not fun for people of that age in a neighbourhood like this. But no signs of forced entry only hurts my client's case. Like the rest of the room. There's not much else flagged here. There's a lounge chair that got thrown and whatever that is. Unidentified ceramic debris? Not even irrelevant. That's the technical assessment? I see in the crime scene text weren't sure what to make of it. Okay. It's everything that the police highlighted. But did they miss anything? There's a yellow thing right here!
The hell is that?
The hell is this? Okay, yeah, no, that hurts way less to look at than the last time we played this. Something in the victim's hand. How the hell did... It's just a pill organizer. Some immune adjusters, NSAIDs, and... Terbiprexazone, a synthetic glucocorticoid medication. Taken daily to reduce rejection systems like phantom pain and generalized itch. Autopsy said her toxicity is clear, but not like it matters. She could have swallowed every medicine in the cabinet and say it still wouldn't change the cause of death. It's odd, but ultimately irrelevant. Everything else here is all very incriminating, but not the kicker. Everything here is everything that's not here. Go ahead. Hope you have a great time. You need to get yourself a pill organizing man. Yay! Then you've summoned in there, pal. No out-of-place DNA, footprints, crumbs. Nothing points towards anyone except my client. Well, I've done more with less before. But not much more. I hate drink more water. Wasser. I'm really gonna have to sing for my celebrity this time. Better get start. Who the hell is messaging me at this time of night? First person who comes to mind is... I suppose it could be something important.
Is it Fran?
It's...
It's... Brat! Red!
And they wait until morning. This... I was about to say, this is maybe night text, but it's not.
Good news, OFC. Got a job for you.
That's a pretty shitty way to tell me you violated parole.
Lol, not that kind of job. Besides, I've been covering my tracks.
Which is why I'm texting you about it right now.
This is something different. Kind of thing I can't handle with just a keyboard and phishing scheme.
Oh my god, is this child a scammer?
I am the scammer.
Yeah?
I need you to sue my gym teacher.
Not that kind of lawyer, sorry.
Hey, at least let me finish.
What did they do?
Make me run laps.
Not illegal?
Let me finish. They made me run laps. Even though I said I had a stomach ache.
Said.
Gotta be like... youth endangerment. Depraved indifference or some kind of shit.
Sounds like you've already got a strong case. Representing this time.
What's with the blow-off?
Nice phrasing.
Oh wow, I'm laughing so hard, RN. See?
Is that your mugshot?
I wasn't gonna not get a copy of my mugshot and use it as a reaction.
What do you mean the use case? So I'm working right now, so...
Anything cool?
Homicide.
Oh, cringe. Wait, what kind of homicide? Is it HBK? Is it the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels?
Is it my favourite boy band, Shawn Michaels? Is that the kind of morbid Shawn Michaels? Is that kind of morbid thing your kids your age talk about?
Teens is my age. And yeah, we can read. Compared to the corrupt shit in the headlines. Old-fashioned murder like Hearty B is like... quaint.
Hearty B? It's not heartbreak.
Then why'd you take the job, lol? You see the 98% conviction rate as a challenge or something? You taking up lost cause probe nose work?
It's pro bono.
That was autocorrect.
Yeah? You know, they gave lit homework for a reason, right?
This is borderline concerned nagging. Maybe you really are a bleeding heart. Or just a sucker.
Not a sucker.
Nice phrasing, lol.
You should go to bed, Fran.
Tomorrow's Sunday, I can stay up if I want.
Tomorrow is Sunday. Because today is Saturday.
What's with the carp DM shit?
It's nearly 4 AM, kid. You've got school in like 3 hours. Oh my god, they're going to school on a Saturday?
Shit.
A repeat offenders may be good for business. That case, that's for my blood pressure.
We love Fran.
We love a Fran in this house. Actually, did we get Fran's profile?
No, we need the deets.
We need the deeds on our gremlin child.
Important text message, I take it.
Just your typical teenage drama. Say then. Do you mind filling me in on a few details? Androids and cops. By the way, I couldn't help but notice your light on star.
It's 3 in the morning. Were you expecting a parade?
I thought there'd be at least a few androids around. Aren't many androids in any police station this week. Not all the brass is renegotiating contracts. Contracts with Noble? Good guess. Hardly, they're the biggest...
Hardly. They're the biggest robotics corp there is. Could spend all night in Center City without leaving their office's shadow.
Yes, it's very important to have them headquartered here. Saves us the money on shipping, at least. These talks never last that long. I'm sure they'll be back to writing checks for Noble ads by the end of the month. Even with Noble pushing those warm androids.
Warm? Ugh. Might as well call it the adult line.
Might seem the bigger departments are out on patrol, but not in these offices. When we're
London's
cold, there's...
got a warm android. I can tell.
Yes. I can smell it on them. Warm or cold, there's no such thing as an android detective yet. Any day now. Guess we should be expecting those any day now. Maybe android lawyers too. Need some android politicians who have a full set.
Get real. People might like ads who do what they're told. But they despise ads who tell them what to do.
I'm not so sure. My warm android at home tells me what to do all the time.
Oh my god. Pink unlocked.
It's like the old Xbox achievement.
We've got like a whole backstory for London coming here.
Yeah, it's one conversation. If I ever do, when I do finally run Headshot the Rot, this is how we're gonna come up with your character lore. I can just feel it. Cameras, sensors, satellites. We already got all our facts and machines. In a few more years, it might make sense to let machines do the investigating too.
The union would. The police union wouldn't let that happen.
Of course, there's still a fucking police union. Shouldn't even have specified. It's the only real union there is anymore. Details. So, how about the basics? What exactly has my client been charged with? Your client, Carlos Baker Flat, was arrested on the scene at 9:50 p.m. Seeing his middle name already, they really do think he's a serial killer. Charged being the first degree murder of his girlfriend, Miss Dane Dawn. First degree, that's... Hang on! Reyes. No, that's the wrong person. Flat.
Wait, why did you look at Reyes when you were looking for the serial killer?
Because she showed up right above Heartbreak.
Are you accusing me?
I don't know. Hang on. Strappy, I'm gonna need you to open this car trunk for me.
Registered at birth. What?
I don't. What the fuck? Also, he's a tall boy. Also, wait, he's...
Yeah, he is.
Ray is B minus, he's B minus, London is B plus. I love how Morgan is the only one who stands out by being A B minus. Wait, actually, accused of murder, detective. Is that a clue? Vice. Anyway, first degree, that's increasingly rare. To say the least.
It's rare for us to get handed anything but crimes of passion around here. So he's got damn near more cameras than people. So you gotta be really, really stupid to try and get away with murder.
Well, Heartbreak's gotten away with it 6 times. So, what's that make him?
5 times, and that makes him insane.
I was gonna go with extraordinary. Let's split the difference and say he's extraordinarily insane. But not just jobs like that. I'm doing 95 abilities and think ahead. What makes you think this is premeditated?
How about the fact that he stalked and killed 5 other women as a warm-up?
A warm-up! 5 previous bullets, 5 previous victims. None of them knew each other, lived near each other, worked in the same fields. Weeks of digital autopsies crawling up and down their online profiles. Nothing. So this serial killer chose his victims at random. If they have nothing in common...
Yeah, nothing in common at all. Other than that they all look like cousins.
The physical similarities are striking. All 5 prior victims were young women with brown hair and eyes. About the same height, comparable weight. Well, those features aren't exactly uncommon. Can it be
a coincidence? If you really believe that, you should quit your job and start buying lotto tickets.
I love every time Morgan gets annoyed, like something drops out of the sky and hits her in the head.
HK's got himself a type. Anyone can see that. You're really gonna try and tell me you don't see the resemblance?
Why are you showing me an old, tiny 1920s child? A young woman, brown hair, brown eyes. I can't tell how tall she is from the portrait, but I can take a hint. So you think, what exactly? That Carlos Flat wanted to kill his girlfriend so badly he went out and shot 5 other women first?
Hey, if the shoe fits,
If the shoe fits.
then you put the shoe on the...
What Sunshine means is that it's not uncommon for killers to displace their violence when people close to them onto outlets with fewer consequences.
Drifters, loners, strangers, workers.
He's probably building up the nerve for tonight by first practicing on these other similar women.
Or he's just so far gone that he can't tell the difference anymore.
It's not the worst theory in the world, but it doesn't fit.
The shoe doesn't fit.
What happens if the shoe doesn't fit? Then you go and you put it on the... You take
We
the
need
shoe
to find Cinderella.
They claim that those previous victims were practice runs, dress rehearsals for tonight's main event. However, the case, there have never been signs of hesitation, nerves. There have been mistakes. Some of which, guns and personal execution shots even more so. There's no sadism or hatred or intimacy in a single bullet to the heart. Killing your girlfriend or her lookalikes usually is, if nothing else, a lot less sterile. If you ask me. Killing my girlfriend's lookalikes. So the time of death was 9 PM on the autopsy, but do you have a timeline for the rest of the night's events?
Can't trust much of what comes out of his mouth. But we've managed, thanks to less biased sources.
And we're pretty confident that we've been able to piece together from their statements. So they interviewed witnesses. Sounds eerily similar to real police work.
We did our job? What the fuck?
The fuck?
There's
Cost
my
you
eye.
the job?
There's the fancy eye. Look.
Yeah! I love how it looks like something is spinning in the eye.
It's like a little disc.
Yeah, a little disc.
The suspect and his girlfriend were arguing loudly with one another starting around 8 PM.
Neighbours were very clear about that part. Couldn't wait until it's about the happy couples domestic problems.
Everyone in the building... Oh. Everyone in the building knew they'd been fighting for weeks.
As you probably gathered from what you saw in the arcs, there's a struggle. Furniture turned over, glass shattered. Things got quiet sometime before 9 PM. Then, there's a gunshot.
Scrubbers are still scrubbing, looking for audio from the area to get a timestamp. But we heard from enough concerned citizens to be pretty damn sure about the time.
Right, emergency services got a burst of calls. Right, emergency services got a burst of calls from around 9 PM. No one seemed to recognise the sound for who it was. Sounds that followed was pretty universally alarming.
Officers arrive on the street at 9:08 PM, establish a perimeter, enter through the open front door at 9:10 PM. And then they find your client, crouched over his dead girlfriend, his hand covered in her blood. At which point they move to secure the scene and the suspect.
Sorry, did you say his hand is singular? Your client's modded, cybernetic right arm. How modded are we talking here?
Registered with a HAL 85 habilis, industrial grade looks like. Says he's spec'd for dexterous manipulation of up to class 4 KPA?
I
Kappa?
think so, yeah.
Kappa? Which means a
Kappa?
minimum grip strength of...
Well,
Well,
in the middle of the ocean, Kappa.
a cup of coffee, cup of tea. Well, basically. He could crush your neck without even gritting his teeth. Dang. Considering a career change?
No, that's not it. It's just... KayRay must be very sensitive for you to put the patch back on each time. Blech. You know, I thought you just had a 14-year-old sense of fashion.
I think a cop would cover up her dominant eye because it was fashionable.
Wait, you modded your dominant eye? I actually thought the same thing the first time we met.
You what?
But getting back on track, that arm has been in the shop for some time now. Can't work without it. Money got tight. Be arguing? Yeah. She's still angry about the comment about her fashion taste.
See thing.
When did he put his arm in for repairs? 8 days before HK's first victim was killed. Well, no chance he'd be willing to chalk that up to coincidence. Question was your client was arrested on the scene after a preliminary scans found his fingerprints on the revolver. And no one else's. A revolver? What kind? The old kind, the real old kind.
More specifically, a KayRay M54, 6-chambered, 10mm.
10mm or Caliber? How retro. You don't know half of it. We're talking seal chamber, real gunpowder, mechanical firing pin, and no tags. No tag. How's that? Just how old are we talking here? Yeah, 24/7 location data, timestamp, trigger pull, safeties quoted to the owner's biometrics. Past 3 decades, tags have made shooting crimes very unambiguous. So you're claiming that my client used some kind of antique to commit these crimes?
How else do you think he'd have gotten away with this 5 other times? If he tried to buy a gun legit, he'd probably fail the very first psych check. And even jailbroken PCs are only good for so long before update withdrawal sets in.
Huh? So then, M54, that's model year 2054. 30-year-old gun. Well, that sure complicates things, doesn't it? Some way, sure. But pre-tagging firearms are rare. There'll be less than 1,000 of them left in the whole country, and few are still compatible bullets. Ammunition we have to be. Bleh. The ammunition would have to be over 30 years old too. The novelty of his weapon has kept us in the dark so far, but now that we have our hands on it, it's gonna put him away for good. What?
Archive department complained loud as hell about how deep they had to dig.
Hmm.
With the protocols they found, the techs were able to match with rifling marks and all 6 bullets to the gun your client was found with.
Oh, rifling marks. Bullets fired from guns that old are marked by the barrel's shape. So if all 6 bullets have the same rifling marks,
We know that they were all fired by the same gun.
it's not as plug and play as tags are, but it's equally precise science, I assure you. It's not a That's not damning enough. The scent casings from the other 5 shootings were still in the chamber. Not even needing to reload. However, your client was found with is the gun HK used to kill 6 women. No way to lawyer around that. An untagged gun just being anywhere near a weapon like that could warrant your arrest. Being found by the police over a dead body with an untagged gun used from 5 other crime scenes is just... To summarize then, even though my client fought verbally then physically with his girlfriend, then he retrieved his weapon and shot her.
Yeah, pretty much.
How'd he look when the officers found him?
Guilty.
How was his effect?
Quiet, detached, stiff.
Not why did you say stuff like that? Not exactly the picture of a grieving partner. That reaction may have lost some points for the cause, but beyond that, people can react to loss in all kinds of unusual ways. As long as the police are suspicious of you, that's no right way to grieve. Heartbreak. I heard your girlfriend broke up with you. Checking my phone here, and I have to say, done a pretty admirable job keeping the details of HK's crimes a secret. Less reputable sites are doing some real journalistic acrobatics trying to piece together a story.
Yeah, top 11 theories on who her HK was a real way to read.
So just journalists though, all kinds have been emboldened. The freaks that HK's managed to bring out of the woodwork in just a few weeks.
Freaks!
Freak! Can you blame them though? I mean, he's a genuine serial killer. Repeat offenders in general are an endangered species, but he's gotten away with...
He stabs his spoon into the cereal. He is... serial killer.
Serial killer? Dreamy?
We know what he's gotten away with.
Take a look around us, detective. National DNA registers are robust enough that cases never go cold. Cameras on every street, a phone on every citizen, a citizen on every phone. Violent crime is an all-time low and clearance rates are at the whole-time highs.
But you're gonna spout some alt-pol bullshit about invasion of privacy?
No, I'm not. You're safer now than any other time in history, detectives. So when some, like, KayRay does come along... Good point. One's starting to look like you can laugh it off, but pressure from the higher-ups must be reaching its peak. They won't maybe need to see someone charged, and that makes them predictable.
Makes them predictable.
Makes them predictable.
Yeah, well... Even if there's nothing standard about HK, Department SOP still dictates we starve the media for case details.
That way, when we do feed them, they're grateful for whatever scraps they get.
But we can't take all the credit this time around. Homicide's tight-knit and tight-lipped, but... it's not like there's much information for us to leak in the first place.
And what is that?
He was just that damn good at doing it.
I think they're just so cool and good at killing people.
Because none of the shootings were caught on the opt-in crime surveillance system.
How is that even possible? I know there's some rough areas in the lower wards, but Optics is watching every other street in the entire city. You're saying you haven't seen this killer on camera even once?
You think we'd have let him kill 6 people if we did? Yeah.
Yeah. I understand your concern, man, but Optics only... it's only what it says in the name. Private surveillance systems signing up to feed into the state security network. It's not perfect, and Heartbreak is so cool, like my warm android partner. It's not perfect, just another one of the many public safety tools in our belt.
It's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to help us solve crimes. Or at least act as a deterrent.
One would hope so. Thought chance. Attendance up for war rooms and board meetings. Being crazy or desperate enough to commit a crime in a city like this couldn't care less about anything as vague as the consequences of their actions. It's like a safety blanket, one with very few holes left in it. But it does have holes.
I know all about holes.
Have I told you about my warm android partner at home? Patching up those many holes takes effort, and that usually means repeating the system.
He knows about rebooting the system. Oh, we have a whole backstory for this guy.
We have a whole backstory of it.
Oh!
There's all kinds of technical details and digital bureaucracy involved. Much like with my partner. At the end, there are occasional localized blackouts. I know about localized blackouts. The math used to schedule them is not impossible to predict. I see.
But those windows of opportunity are small and short, just like me. Taking advantage of them requires specific knowledge.
The only reason I was assigned to homicide detective 3rd grade is because I can get into the tiny areas. I can see through the cracks.
You need to be involved in law enforcement, pub data, or city planning.
They'd have mentioned if my client was a cop, and he wouldn't have needed a public defender either. He would have just walked away for free. His file says he's motive for heavy mass manipulation, not tech interfacing. So that just leaves city planning. So does he work construction for the city? In which case only ever struck at times and locations or optics would be down. Even with the devil's unlocked. Hi! Can't
Hi,
possibly...
it's me, devil.
It's me, the devil! You can tell I'm the devil because I have red hair and red eyes! Wait, so you're saying this one was killed?
Yeah, there was a blackout from around 8 to 9 tonight. Right on schedule, so to speak. London, were you canoodling with your android at that time? And it included the area surrounding the victim's apartment.
London just pulls out his phone and stalls. It's like she can become portable in an instant. Well, about the DNA from the other crime scenes, was my client a match? There's been no blood, no saliva, no suspect DNA at any of the crime scenes, unlike at my house.
Oh, God.
No footage and no forensics.
We know how messy he is.
Also, no motives, tampering, witnesses. Just the way I like it. It's been like hunting a damn ghost. He didn't even have a murder weapon.
Until now.
Finally, a lucky break for the boys in blue. Scanners, cams, drones, forensics, no matter how you dress it up with tech, all detective work relies on one basic assumption. People make mistakes, unlike my android partner. But the HK is the kind of monster who doesn't make mistakes. Only reason we've caught him tonight was because he finished what he'd set up to do all along. So, is my list of suspects for tonight?
Weren't you listening? There was no list of suspects.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention today as I was busy looking at your profile.
Well, you keep looking at my profile while I go and let my dog out real quick.
Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying the stream chat. Is everything alright? Let's go check my Discord messages. How are you guys enjoying the stream? I'm just gonna take a quick shape of the 7 box. Hang on. So yeah, guys, what are you?
You talking shit about me?
Listen, I'm just having the 7 bucks.
You talking about my 162 centimeters?
I can't believe he's so small, everybody. I can't believe that these 7 bucks that Stripey and I share is larger than Detective Reyes. We questioned some X's, a few CIs. Someone even spoke to 1 or 2 of the unlisted. Somebody even spoke to 1 or 2 unlisted at some point. Unlisted. Nothing came of it. Is there anything? Sorry, I need to look up unlisted if there's anything. Hey! It's talking about starting some kind of psych eval or something, but I never expected much to come of that. There's just not enough to work with. In other words, the only thing they have, the only thing that kids have to link my client to those killings is the murder weapon. I think it's jostle that keystone and the rest of this cage can start to come loose as well. Thanks to the chat detectives, I think I understand the backgrounds well enough now. Candidly, I see some strokes, I see the same strokes you do, and the picture it paints isn't pleasant. Nor is it fair.
Pleasant.
The one brain cell of BB&B is working well today. But even so, it seems a bit unrefined to be brought before a judge, don't you think?
Hey, it's only our job to catch the bastard. The DA is the one who gets a conviction. Besides, we're not exactly gonna have to work hard to convince anyone of his guilt.
And why is that? He pissed himself.
He had made it. Because we found a handwritten confession at his desk. Done.
Done! Wow.
Done.
That's, fuck. I'm sorry, you're now telling me that he wrote a confession. Why did you start with this? Has it been verified? Not yet. Muscle past everyone at the fraud and disinfo to get this information. But we have to muscle past everyone in fraud and disinfo to get that to the front line.
Why bother? The note's covered in his fingerprints.
There's a copy in the discovery data, but I should warn you, it doesn't exactly make for light reading. I'll have to manage somehow. I need to see this confession for myself. Sorry for everything, can't say enough. Actually, do you want to read this?
Okay, sorry for everything, can't say enough, didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not want any of it to happen, can't stay in control when I get mad. When I'm not in control, I hurt people without meaning to. Wish I hadn't broken them. Didn't mean to at first, but I was hurting. Wanted you to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Words aren't enough, I know that now. I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. I've been avoiding murdering you all this time.
Pulls out gun. That was difficult to read. Apparently legible, in fact.
Well, got a spin on that?
No need.
But it's a confession.
No confession that he signed, though, is it? Not yet. And not one he intends to sign anytime soon, considering that he asked for representation.
Yeah, the most wanted man in the city asked for a lawyer and got you. Guess you're both lucky.
Hardly. I just happened to be waking the coal and I... Not because I'm a murderer, but I'm not so flush with work that I can afford to turn tail now. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go and speak with my client. What? He's not still handcuffed in there, is he? Look, Councillor, with all due respect, we have strong evidence pointing the man to being responsible for 6 murders. 2 hours or so in cuff isn't cruel or unusual. That's for your safety as well. It's kind of you to worry, but I doubt he'll be in any danger.
He's killed 6 women.
None of them were red.
True.
Yeah. Seriously though, I'd like to speak with him alone now. It's off, if you don't mind. Mike's on or off is your call, Councillor. We'll be watching the feed right outside, in case anything happens. And the cuff, that is, stays on. Not worried about me, how chivalrous. Yeah, my armor's practically blinding.
Gross. I'll start up the unlock cycle.
Councillor, just one last word of advice. If you any interest in his well-being, I'd suggest you help him sign that confession. Not a bad idea, I do get paid either way. But the defense part, defense attorney, isn't just for show detective. I mean it. 6 people dead is one thing, but he's also caused weeks of widespread terror and public unrest. Putting it another way, he's made the state look bad. That's a capital crime if there ever was one. Even if the death penalty's not actually on the table these days, I can guarantee he's not going to like whatever rehabilitation plan they throw up for him. Look, I've seen the virtual work release program. In person, it's not...
Here. That's the only important bit.
Yeah! Remember how we cooperate with authorities and combat this information here. And it's being challenged before the Supreme Court. Yeah, sometime the next decade, maybe. Just remember, a plea deal might feel less like a loss for you, but it keeps him from, well, it's probably a win for your client, right? Prison sentences are generally lighter for those who plead guilty. That much is true. Save the courts a great deal of time and money, and they show their gratitude with their reduced sentences. But no one will ever be grateful towards the heartbreak killer.
Shawn Michaels.
Anyone convicted of killing 6 people, they'll rest their mind another day in their life. 2086! Do you want to be this handsome lad?
I'll be Shawn Michaels, yeah.
Suppressing as hell in here. They need to line this place up. God, she's so hot. Carlos Flath, right? I hate doing
by name only.
We've got a lot to cover. This shouldn't take all night.
What are you? Oh, look, I already told you people.
I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lawyer. You're a lawyer, in fact. He looks like such a baby boy.
Baby boy.
Baby boy! I'm here to help you.
Yeah, well... They said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here, kept repeating it the whole ride over.
Hmm.
They said that they were going to help me, that they knew this was all a mistake. Then they said that I killed. Acting like they were on my side, and they thought that I could have...
It's not their job to help you, Carlos. But it is mine. I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach it the wrong way, he'll just climb up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions.
The police already...
Questions you, I'm sure. We're treating you as a suspect, not as a client.
Okay. So what do you want to know?
About you.
How did you kill her?
How did you kill her? Did you use your arms? That sounds simple. Something mundane, grounded to what? I'd like to know a bit more about you first, Carlos. Something like... what line of work are you in?
I'm with City Engineering. Or I was, or I should be.
So I thought, the police must be convinced they mapped out the optics blackouts using data he stole from Mark.
My arm, I got slotted for the job. And,
Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was wanted for work and that arm must be in custody at the moment, but based on his shoulder, it must have been pretty utilitarian. Utilitarian, yeah, it doesn't strike me as the type who's enamored with aesthetics modding. The young and the restless and the rich, swapping in neon and chrome limbs because they like the way it looks. But it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. Hang on, let me just... Turns over a horseshoe. You know, my brother wants mods.
really?
Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out, a whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades to afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present. Test results politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate.
That sucks.
I think he felt relieved, actually. Seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad he didn't have to chase. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think it does.
Hmm.
I always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small. A hand or an eye, test the water. Never thought about lobbing my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said, because of the NCDA, there was financial aid and resources. Of course, that got shit canned, so now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit.
The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed. But I did appreciate the distinction at the moment.
I work the tighter spaces, the high vault environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typical stuff for modders, you know?
Speaking freely now, don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. But the right word choice here, or there, can still make the difference. You work on the canopy, you must be under a lot of pressure. Now that these subways are cordoned off.
Damn straight. And this crap with Long? Once word got out that the case against him was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that internal affairs is going to come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip.
Well, thank you for the posture check and the hydrate.
Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving.
No, you're even for engineering.
Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups.
He's trying very hard not to look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos?
Yeah. That. Rejection issues, starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights.
Rejection? Did the therapy not take?
It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything.
Yeah!
That's so gross.
You are? Then do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars?
Not in the way you're thinking.
Huh?
I'm right-handed.
So those cuts on his face are just from shaving?
Never thought that this would go on so long. I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling, but then spasms. Just oversensitivity, they said. An easy fix.
But the problem got bigger.
Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line.
Where did you turn it in?
Some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't.
Doesn't sound like you're a happy customer.
Hell no! I'd found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning.
The manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance.
And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive ass stump for a shoulder.
God, I'm never buying from Apple again.
Damn you, Apple. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got 2 working arms again.
You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself, just in the meantime.
I serve at the pleasure of the state. And they've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight.
Hindi? How Industries? So I recall he's registered on the habilis models.
If I took one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fines, I'd lose the down payment and my arm. And I'd never work in this city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that Long's in deep hot shit.
You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain?
Pain'll come and go. It's the itchies that'll kill you. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. arm shape attached to me.
Didn't they give you something to, well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinic clean out for cases like this.
What they gave me is a dead weight, free-jointed landfill bait piece of shit. Sorry, it's just... It's a very shitty feeling having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. It fits. It's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend, and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep or dead.
So, were you wearing it when you were arrested? Were you wearing it when you were arrested?
No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so... Can't have gone too far.
So Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he's fine. And the victim's blown his left arm, only because the team in question he didn't even have a right. Bleh. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Here comes the delicate part. Carlos, you and the victim are romantically involved. How long did you know each other?
Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually we just got together at some point.
Alright.
Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Diane, she was in genetics. Focused her studies on agriculture.
Always takes him a few times to get used to using past tense. From all the women I've murdered.
Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out the gate. Practically headhunted, you believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company'd be lucky to have her, and like... It was a real-ass job. Paid real-ass money, too.
And she had a real ass, unlike mine. So her career was starting to pan out. Right as yours had fallen to the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired?
Pedigree? No. Pedigree Laboratories. I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella.
That doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire city. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without being a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as big businesses can get. They only send the corn squad after you. If you really got into their profits. Predictable like the seasons, no one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech markup because of corporate greed. Had she adjusted well to her new job?
Yeah, they loved having her there.
She never mentioned arguments or disputes, corporate politics getting rough.
I don't think so.
Also, I got two ping. Hang on.
Ping, ping.
Ping, ping. Ping, ping, ping.
Not like I've been a good listener lately. But I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her. And there's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her.
It's a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to shift blame onto. With no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I have to disprove the argument entirely. I did it! Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful.
It was?
Yes. Police, kill him! Now, I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight.
Oh.
Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important.
Alright, Miss,
Morgan,
I'll try Morgan.
when you're ready.
We were arguing. We had been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working, haven't been making money.
Mm.
Haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money.
The reports say you're arguing at about around 8 p.m.
8? Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have.
I'm gonna kill you.
I crossed the line and we both knew it, so I left.
You left.
Yeah, walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid. Thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, literally, Diane was.
It was humid because I was pissing. Did you bring your phone with you or any other electronics?
No. I kind of stormed off, didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me.
Optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves. Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with mods dice? Did you buy anything, cash or credit?
No, not even the vending machine.
Not even a damn vending machine, huh? Never met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate.
I just wanted quiet at the time, wanted to wallow in it really. Sorry if I don't have all the details quite right, my head is... But if my exact route would help, the cams probably. What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen?
And there's no other proof that you're out at the time Diane's killed. Meaning, you've got no alibi.
This can't... Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't.
Carlos, I'm the one person you'll have to try and convince.
Now why is that?
Because, after all, I killed her. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's get it all out there and see what we've got to work with.
Right.
Now, you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back?
I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud and it scared me. And it came from the direction of her apartment. I was walking back at first.
Mm-hmm.
At some point I must have started running because when I got back I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't...
You live on the first floor, right?
Yeah, first floor apartment, street facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought that she was... The lights were off. The whole room was a mess. I thought we had been robbed or she had fallen or... There was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name and she didn't move. I checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw...
The gun?
Well, it was so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real.
Is that why you picked it up?
What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, damn it.
Do you know what I do? You hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies. Bad lies especially.
Oh.
Uh-oh. But for me, it's always easy to spot a lie. but it can be hard to know what to do about it. All the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous defensive. And this works if he doesn't trust me. It's right there to you!
Oh my god.
It's clearly the fingerprints, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the fact that your fingerprints are on that gun.
What? But I didn't do this. I didn't. I wasn't thinking. I was just...
Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all.
Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun?
That explains how his prints got in the gun. He's a big dumb himbo. But not in a way that would satisfy the police. So if all he did was hold the gun... I also pulled the trigger 6 times.
So stupid. I know what a gun looks like. Seeing it in my own home right in front of...
You're in shock, Carlos. You still are.
Police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast, it seemed like. The rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect.
Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the ring trash when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight.
What? Physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say that we did?
They seemed as much. Which means they also seemed that the room was dishevelled well before the sheet in the cart. Considering what Carlos has told me, what else did they assume?
What is it?
I'd like you to take a look something for me. The crime scene.
Oh.
It's an AR module built from the data taken as the police entered, so...
Right, it's just that...
It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details.
Look at your dead girlfriend.
Look at the corpse of your girlfriend, Carlos! Look deep into her dead eyes, Carlos!
Let me see it.
I made sure that you could lick the dead eyeball in the AR simulation, Carlos.
Alright, I think I've got it.
That's how the police find things. Now, close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try to focus on what's out of place.
Alright.
I'll take notes, you just say whatever comes to mind.
I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror was upright, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And that clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, and the bed got tossed. The cushions torn, and the urn fell. Other than that...
Hmm?
No, sorry. That's all that stands out to me.
I see. Like sore?
I forgot about this.
What's wrong? Is something out of place? Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up.
Look at his face.
How do I be nice to you?
It's just, I guess I just assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR.
I also just noticed the twinkle in Morgan's eye. Well, I suppose that works too.
I just wanted to draw, damn it.
You didn't expect it!
Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing was pretty good, considering.
I'd like to change subjects now, Carlos.
You've offended me.
You've offended me. Pulls out my side gun.
Right.
So a letter that's found on your desk.
A letter? What do you mean?
I mean this letter here. Do you recognise it? The police are calling it a confession.
A confession? But this is just a note to self.
I beg your pardon?
Look, when we fight, I lose my temper, say things I don't mean to. So this morning, I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to.
Armored Lavender in chat. Also, hello. Huh? Hello, is this Morgan? Don't talk about any tasks in this warranty. Hello, Lavender, how you doing?
Your insurance on your gun.
Your gun insurance has lapsed. You only shoot 6 brown-haired women before your warranty expires. Doing well? Hell yeah. Strifey and I are both sick, which is why we're sharing this lovely cup of iced $7 coffee.
Yeah. Just keeping the phlegm at bay.
You keep shrinking, Strifey. Dang it. So are you? Get them. Mods, get that mod.
So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her.
Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them.
That's... I broke her fidget tubbies.
Her what? Her what?
Her fidget tubbies.
I love how the music changed to what's your vibe.
They're these collectible ceramic character things. And they're supposed to be like tactile. You use them as paperweights or conversation starters.
Conversation starters.
She loved those little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her. And I broke them. Because I'm an asshole. I mean,
because I'm that prick.
I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging it half the time. Got so angry I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room, that cheap, dusty, worthless.
Alright, let's say he did break her frigiduckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in this note for me to prove that his intent... what his intent was when he sat down to write it. The police insist on claiming his confession for the heartbreak killings anyway.
Couldn't even bother to sweep them up, I felt so.
Alright, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. Now, I'm going to call the police back in here, and I'm going to get this all cleared up for you.
What? That's it?
That's it! This is part of the demo!
Oh, okay.
Although, before I do, I do have to ask. What do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Is it
Do I
you?
have to kill you too?
Do I have to Heartbreak kill you?
Heartbreak? Do you mean Shawn Michaels?
Your favourite boy band musician, Shawn Michaels, yeah?
You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everybody's on edge, a guy like that out there. He shoots people through the heart, right?
The police have kept victims' appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend.
I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that's just... That doesn't mean anything, does it?
If he's this low on the uptake, it's going to be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. Just have to squash that theory. And quickly, and definitively as possible. And as definitively as possible.
Squash it like a bug.
Squash! Hey, you know what you can't squash?
I wonder if the brat's asleep yet. Probably not.
Probably not.
I didn't realize you could smoke in here.
Wait, did she just stick the cigarette into her coffee?
Nice, nasty.
Yeah, sure. Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a
Who the
fee.
fuck's gonna... For a fee? Oh, it's a non-smoking area.
Yeah?
I guess so.
Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock.
Right, I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this.
No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though.
Oh.
Why does everyone always think the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up! I got the relevant experience in all other areas, like heartbreak killing your girlfriend.
Oh. And, what areas are those?
You ever gamble, Carlos?
No, ma'am, I never go anywhere near loot boxes. Won't touch the stuff. He's such a good boy.
You're such a good boy. I mean, like playing cards.
Oh,
I
well
secretly
then,
hate Dior.
no, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck.
Mhm. So, Lav, quick spoilers for this. The thing is, it was actually me, Dior. In case you failed me. So, well, why do you a lot like poker, Carlos? Poker's nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun.
Okay, so, do you have a good poker face?
No! I like to think so.
And are you lucky?
Only when the stakes are high.
And, is this, in this metaphor, we're playing poker? And the state's the dealer?
If only. No, the state's more like the house.
You mean like the house always wins?
Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. Housing, I mean. They're terrible at housing.
That too.
That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're at the house.
So what do we do?
We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up, and eventually someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper that something's in the air. Something in their ear. And I'll be politely asked to leave.
That doesn't sound very triumphant.
The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose.
Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking, like, what should I say?
Just leave all the talking to me. You're not allowed to have a voice or all stripey EN.
No! So that's the strategy. What's up?
There's a saying about gamblers' strategies.
Yo, ready to confess yet? Cause I already woke up the DA.
Already, she must be now. District attorneys have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. To be fair, since they're the ones who have to end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long, protracted trials. They all dislike having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then you'll have to pull them back. So my client is not guilty. Frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Enough to hold him here.
Right. What she said. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time, kind of thing.
I'm very serious when it comes to demanding a man's innocence, detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession, let's start there. Okay, well,
I'll be happy to.
the thrust of every argument starts with the facts. That's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table.
It's pretty simple, counselor.
Hmm.
Real paint by numbers stuff. See, we found a note at his apartment. With his fingerprints on it. Apologizing for how he hurt them. All so bad. Now, how are you planning on spinning that?
She's got a little fang, I just realised.
A little mofang.
Little moy fang. Those are the facts, but I've been willing up my hands all night. This portrait is so cute. I got the weapons to answer anything they try and throw at me.
Well,
My client did write that note, and it was an apology, but not for murder. He was apologising for... the gun! Debris.
ceramic crap.
Simply apologising for this.
The hell is that?
I find myself asking the exact same question. What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene? I love crime! I told you about my warm Andrew.
Oh god.
This is a diagram of the room. It's a diagram of the room. It's created from data you captured, right? Pure non-GMO augmented reality crime scene data, yeah.
What's non-GMO?
Not much these days. Notice anything out of place?
Yeah, the whole room's full of busted shit. It's the scene of a murder.
Full of busted shit for sure. But it's more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found in the western side of the room.
What the hell is that?
Because you're tired, you summoned the person to your bedroom and so you need to click someone guilty. Oh god. See, oh god, we had to... Stripey, we had to repair the face DA Lavender.
Guilty.
Guilty. Ceramic debris, huh? Must be from the vase that got tossed. Actually, that's not possible. Oh? That vase wasn't there.
Wasn't damaged.
Wasn't damaged. It's not possible for the debris to come from the vase. Because that vase is still pristine.
How is that? How is that possible? You were told to shut the fuck up.
You were told to keep silent! You're not allowed to have a speaking role in this case. Heartbreak kills him.
The lady at the garage sale told me it was so old and delicate. Damn it. The one time I tried and thrift shop on my own.
DA Lab declares Ray as the murderer. Case closed. Ray is a cop.
Oi oi. Well, so what? What does it even matter?
The vase doesn't have a scratch on it. And the debris must have come from somewhere else. And that debris is what my client wrote that apology over.
You're saying that confession was his apology for not vacuuming?
I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of Fiji Bob Fidget
tubbies.
I love that the music comes in every single time Fidget tubbies are mentioned.
So cute.
What he said. Mr. Flack broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident. And this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can you prove that?
We're taking this seriously.
As much as I wish you weren't. We're all in agreement that the client wrote the note. And we can all plainly see that the ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Those things?
Those things.
Sorry, you're taking your lunch break? Ah, no worries, no worry. Simple, right?
The hell are you on about? The entire room was trashed, as the arcs clearly shows. Those fidget tubbies must have gotten pulverized during the struggle too. You're really gonna claim he sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down?
Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. No, these collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that in this brief. The rental! The gun!
The gun.
I did not mean to grab the revolver. The rental! Just take a closer look at this rental you took into custody.
Huh?
Once your finger should show exactly how devastating it was to the fickle buddy ecosystem.
It's fidget tubbies.
Whatever! Did you take it into custody? I'm sure the text found ceramic debris on it, yes? Now that you mention it.
Fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm while he was killing her. Happy?
Overjoyed because even a cheap arm's got an operating system that'll log the last time it was won, right? Right. So you haven't spot a footnote in the lab report said that the rental had been used since the AM.
Whose side are you on, old man?
It's gotten pretty late, Sunshine. Just trying to save us all some time where I can. What do you think this is? An Ace Attorney game?
He wants to rush back home to
He wants to rush back home to his warm android? You know, they say warm androids can bruise, but they're the only one who gives me bruises. Well, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look at how scrawled, how panicked that note is. You expect me to believe he was that upset over a fidget tubby collection? One that hasn't even been graded?
Setting aside Detective Ray is surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles. You're correct, they hold no real monetary value. It would be odd for Carlos to be shaken over their loss. But so what?
So what?
After all, it's not panic that you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason the note looks that way is because
he's right-handed. He's a sensitive boy.
He's right-handed. Because Carlos is right-handed.
Yes, I am. Did they not know that? Shouldn't that be on my permanent record or something? So the reason why that note looks like asylum wall scribbles.
It's because he had to use his left hand to write it.
I tend to think better writing than typing. And I need to get used to using my left anyway. I just thought it could be good practice.
Taking that into account alongside the ceramics, your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet.
Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, Counselor. You've established that your client's remorseless. Now let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. We found your client at the scene of the crime. Wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood. Right next to a big ol' goddamn gun. That just so happened to have his fingerprints on it.
That's right, that coat is...
What, you're gonna claim it's not his? That he actually wears an extra small?
She's trying to bait me in her typical low-key fashion. She must have something, no sense playing into it. Oh, yeah, there's where the epilepsy warning is. Something you'd like to ask me, Detective?
I'm just curious. What'll it be next? You're gonna tell me he actually wears an extra small?
Oh, I can only stay on that. He doesn't wear an extra small. Gee, Carlos, do you?
No. Yeah? Sure there's no evil twin you've forgotten to mention?
There is! No. There's no evil twin. I'm afraid not.
Not even gonna go for a mysterious third party at the scene of crime?
To prove his innocence, I'll need to get there eventually. When they're now without hard evidence. No evidence of a third person at this time.
Damn right you don't. It's clear as day in the arcs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night. So keep dreaming.
It was obvious she had something there. Wasn't gonna win that hand either way. But at least I didn't overstep and take more damage than I had to. We're not contesting any of that, Detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. Picked it up in the confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene. Which was not smart.
Hey.
But not illegal either.
And that's all? He had her blood all over his clothes.
Yes, he did. Right. Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way? Well, I've just finished them away, I'll go.
Where are you getting at?
It'll be easier to just show you. Do you mind getting them for me?
You know what? Sure, I could use the fresh air. Stinks of bullshit in here anyway.
No, that's cigarettes. Here I thought the room smelled like.
Morgan! What are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood. I remember that much. So doesn't that, like, make me look really bad?
Just relax, Carlos.
I'm pretty sure that that's impossible.
You're innocent because I killed her. That means not. That means having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you.
Really?
Really? Not really. Plenty of innocent people in prison. People with bad luck or bad lawyers. People shouldn't count on the truth coming out easy. More often than not, it takes coaxing. What does that remind me of?
Alright, here it is. One bloodstained jacket fresh from the lab. So what's your angle? You gonna tell us this is actually just hot sauce? Taste it.
Thought about it. No, that'd be silly. She actually thought it over.
So what the hell's your point? Hey,
Sorry, I just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune.
what good fortune?
You should thank the detectives for bringing your jacket, Carlos. She's just proving your innocence. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing it at the time of the murder. So the victim's blood on it, and who we know died when he was shot in the heart. By a gun that happens to be an old world pre-tagged firearm. And so this coat proves he couldn't have been the shooter.
Is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense?
Science happens to be the key here. I just need to draw their attention to what I can. Give it a good old sniff. So remember, you can't smell gunpowder on the jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Just do me one favour, detective. Tell me, what did your big old nose smell?
Bullshit. I don't smell anything except dried blood.
Exactly. The coat smells like blood, but it doesn't smell like cigarette. That's what I've been smelling. Yes, Detective London. I was smoking earlier. They joined the conversation. I'm not listening. You wanted me to smell the jacket? If you would. Let's see. Huh. No gunpowder.
What? What about gunpowder?
Oh, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time.
You can't be more than a few years older than me.
But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder is weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff. Hard to store, prone to misfiring, and when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence.
What the hell is she talking about, London?
Modern firearms like the ones we use, carry, use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They've got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise. They don't leave behind any residue.
Gunpowder residue.
You took my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces. But a revolver like this one can leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days.
So then he's coat.
If you don't trust your notice, you can check the lab reports. I think if they find any gunpowder on my client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it.
Well, whatever. That just means he washed off after shooting her or he changed his clothes.
That's not impossible, but it'd be pretty pointless.
Huh?
His jacket and his left hand are blood-soaked when your officers find him. They go through all the effort just to get rid of something as subtle as gunpowder residue. Just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards.
Boink.
In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you reconsider the charges Mr. Flat is facing. As soon as possible.
Whoa.
They're faltering now. Should topple over at any moment. Blood is mostly icing on the cake for them. Thankfully, only had the link towers to any of the shoot-ins. So if it looks like he never actually fired the gun, I'll admit things are a little dicey there at times. So he's able to grasp the situation. The smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall it's... She does get a message. Wait, did they actually manage to find it? Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes?
You're good. Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you.
Thanks.
But your luck just ran out. Because the net scrubbers found the cam active at the exact moment of the shooting. And right now, I'm staring at a photo of the killer.
Wanna bet? A photo of the share. If she had that, we wouldn't still be talking. I doubt she's just pulling this out of her ass. She's gotta have something in this job house. She must have something. I'm not sure I fully detect it. Didn't even establish there was an optics blackout during the shooting.
Here, there was. But this isn't from optics.
Or... I think I held my tongue. So I thought the scrubbers must have managed to dig up something from outside the network. Which means...
Party's over, Counselor. Feast your eyes on this.
Well! Okay, the quality is lacking. We managed to find a quarter of a needle of evidence in a whole city block of haystacks. What are the goddamn chances? No, the scale of the tools they operate on. Chances are always, as always, in their favour. Alright, this isn't good, but it's a far cry from the worst case scenario I envisioned. Also, the killer is wearing gloves in that photo. Can't say I got lucky, which means the stakes are...
Well,
it's a little bit... blurry.
don't look at me. I didn't take the damn thing. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, a neighbor was on their phone.
Probably venting about how the crazy couple across the way was acting. When it was on, its camera would be on.
And so we managed to get this shot through the window.
Where to begin? Far away, unfocused, ultra low resolution, zoomed in, blurred, color shifted, and so compressed it looks like it's from another century.
There are tools that could enhance.
Enhance this image any further, and I could count the pixels on one hand. He said it's admissibility in quality by. You can't honestly claim that you can identify my client from this image. There's no way in hell you could get this past the judge. Yeah, you're probably right, we couldn't. But I think I know a DA who could. Either way, it doesn't seem like your client's leaving this police station anytime soon.
That photo? What the hell is happening to me? Think I know a DA that could? Don't be so modest, old man. We have photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. And who do we know? And who do we know had their left hand fingerprints all over that
I
gun?
can't believe you flubbed the line. You're referring to my client.
You think? We've established he wasn't wearing his modded arm at all tonight. So he must have shot with his left.
Yes, you also established that he's weak with his left side. A left side that had no gunpowder whatsoever. Forensics will never be perfect, Counselor. Sometimes we miss things. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain when you finally get where you're going. So not you somehow end up dry. Doesn't mean it didn't rain. All which is to say, before judge or jury, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test. Carlos is innocent. I know he is, for reasons. That photo shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent, that photo is real. If both are true, that means that the photo doesn't show what it appears to show.
So, at a loss for words?
Never! I'm just confused about one thing. Where was this photo taken from exactly? Exactly, positional data is usually only accurate to the nearest public router. We DN on the phone's owner and ask them where...
Why bother with any of that? Ballistics and common sense tells us that the perp shot from the room's doorway. The front entrance of the apartment faces to the south. There's a hallway that runs back to the bedroom. We're looking straight at the shooter, so it's pretty obvious that this was taken from across the north window.
Well, there's also the option of...
Mirror.
Mirror. From the north. It's from the north, and why can we clearly see that?
It's not that complicated. The neighbor who got the shot must live on the other side of the street. So we're looking into the bedroom from the north window.
She's wrong. I should seize the opportunity to start turning the tides. Yeah, no, she's wrong.
You're wrong.
I'm afraid that simply isn't possible, Detective. This photo has to have been taken from the west.
What kind of bluff is that supposed to be?
The good detectives are misinformed here. I need to take advantage of it. Time to press the initiative.
What the hell do you mean this was taken from the west?
The autopsy tells us the victim was shot from the doorway. Your officer's ARCS data tells us the precise location of everything in the room at the time they arrived. Now your photo has shown us the exact moment of the shooting.
And
altogether that tells us this photo must have been taken through the west window. As long as you consider... Behold my artistic glory! Let's take one look at the clock in that photo.
The clock? What about it?
The clock, huh? Seems London's got an idea. He's mistaken, I can pounce on it and keep my tempo high. This photo was taken right before the shooting, so... Wait, don't tell me the time of death is wrong. No, the time of death is correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question, Detective London. But the answer is no. The autopsy, and the clock, and the neighbours all agree that the time of death was at 9 PM. Right, no mistaking that. Phew, I mistook that.
So then what the hell were you on about?
There's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style, and it's 9 o'clock.
9 PM, the time of the shooting. What the hell's so special about that?
Nothing. There's nothing on about the time on the clock reads, but... Yeah, I remember there being a clock in that room.
What?
Actually, I don't recall there being a clock. That makes sense. You didn't recall seeing a clock, because when the police secured the scene, the clock had already been knocked onto the floor.
And?
The only clock in that room is on the northeastern corner, and my client has informed me that before the crime it was hung up on the eastern wall. Like so.
What the hell is that supposed to be?
I sparkle whenever she shows this photo.
Their faces too.
An artistic rendition. It's very distinct.
If you had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting, why didn't you just add that to the ARCs?
And show you my hands. Just because discovery law compels us to share info doesn't mean we have to play fair, Detective. Slipped my mind. I'll do that now. The important thing is that the clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred. This photo must be looking through the western window to see it.
Don't start getting ahead of yourself. The victim was shot at 9 PM, the same time that this photo was taken of the shooter. But you want to claim that the clock's still on the eastern wall when it would have been knocked down during the fighting?
Just put your logic backwards, Detective. Your precious photo shows that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And there's one other piece of evidence that proves exactly how the cards fell. Or should I say, the glass! Wait. I want to make sure there's nothing else here.
Glass shards, what about them?
Nothing much, really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body. And not under it.
If the glass fell on top of the victim's body, that would mean...
That she was down the ground before the room got trashed.
But that's... But that doesn't make any sense. You shut the fuck up. Why would anyone trash the room afterwards?
It's a good question, Carlos. Take stock tape over Carlos's mouth. Luckily, it's detectives who have to delve into the minds of the criminally insane, not ours. We detectives. Were there any signs of a struggle at the other crime scenes?
Other crime scenes?
No, nothing like that. The attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds. So what's your thing when you saw the mess in the bedroom?
That this was personal and things had gotten complicated. Shit happens.
Shit does happen, detective! But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened.
So what if the room didn't get tossed over until afterwards? He still shot her. And we have a photo right here.
And I'm glad you did, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence.
Huh?
Proving that it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger is difficult, and maybe, more importantly for all of us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can instead prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger. Because the man in that photo couldn't possibly have been Carlos.
Like hell it can't.
The glass shards prove that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And we know that until the room was tossed, the clock was on the eastern wall. And the photo of the shooter was taken from the west.
Back to this shit? That's impossible. The only hallway in that apartment runs from north to south.
But the apartment has 2 windows.
The only person with prints on that gun is your client. And the only fact that matters is that he used it to murder 6 innocent people.
You're a very honest person, detective.
Excuse me?
That's why you're such a shitty gambler.
Oh.
Your cards. Fuck you, Reyes! Play your cards too early. Now you can seal the pot right out from under you. You're right about the hallway's orientation, you're right about the prints. And this HK figure has claimed 6 lives. But I aren't looking at the hallway in that photo.
What?
What I'm saying is... The fidget tubbies!
The fidget tubbies. I wonder what would happen if you actually...
I think
took
we'd
fidget
lose
tubbies.
credit and like come back to this. Mirror.
It's the mirror. What is that? You trying the glass shards again?
Sort of. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from?
Yeah, sure. They came from a...
From a standing mirror. A mirror that, at the time of the shooting, stood across the room from the western window.
But then that would mean...
From that angle, from that viewpoint, it would reflect the whole way. I'm not seeing the shooter with a gun in their left hand. We're seeing a killer take aim with their right arm. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks. And he hasn't won his rental since this morning. So I meant what I said about that photo. I'm glad that it was recovered. So just proved my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime. Well, that should be the end of it. Except... it looks like Detective Reyes really is a novice gambler. Sunk cost has got teeth on her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever. The impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. Well, lucky for you, Detective, I'm well versed in shock therapy. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes.
That's one word for it.
Then allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary, my client's so-called confession was just a note to self. The police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically couldn't have fired. After being confronted with these facts, he received the photographic evidence of the exact moment of the shooting, and instead of utilising said photo to track down the real killer, he tried to claim that it affected my client, not the requisite limb. Standing in an architecturally impossible hallway.
That's... He could have had a backup arm. He could have stolen one.
A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly. It's King Knight tend to bear my fangs a bit. 6 shots. That's the best you've got? Even a bare bones prosthetic, but off the black market, needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. To bring it to a clinic would have left a record on the shoulder OS, a record you won't fight, and you'd have to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of a violent crime calls for a full spectrum scanning of the entire building and 100 meters around the minimum. So where, Detective Reyes, did you manage to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones at the time between the shooting and his arrest?
I surrender.
Well... Oh, that's such a good speech, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Any objections? Detective.
God. Damn. It.
Hell yeah! Show me your hand, Flat.
You're uncuffing me?
Yeah, I need these cuffs back for tonight.
Oh god.
Light of evidence, we have no reason to hold you.
Now I gotta go call the DA. And tell her I made a mistake.
No, we made a mistake, huh? Listen, kid, you should know. Detective? Lost my train of thought, thinking about my warm android back home. Hey, your attorney's a real tiger. Speaking of tigers, she just fought like hell for you. Here, have a new fidget tubby. Make sure you think it properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well.
Yeah.
That's kind of you to say, Detective. But my work is its own rewards. Sure. I feel exactly the same, Counselor.
What happens now?
I'll have to speak to the DA about the dismissal. And there's still some paperwork I'll need to go through. But basically, you're free to go. Congrats, you get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact.
Yay. And a dead girlfriend.
My dead girlfriend?
But what am I supposed to do?
Detectives will continue their investigation.
Their investigation into heartbreak, huh?
Yes. When authorities are satisfied with their examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements.
No, that's not what I...
Huh?
Diane being gone is bad enough. But a serial killer? It's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore.
People die of the flu all the time, but... I know what you mean.
I can't make sense of it. So what am I supposed to do?
Hell if I know. There are some contacts I could give you. Like this guy called the Flu.
Mm.
Therapists, professionals, doctors,
The brat.
drugs. Hello, sir, would you like a drug? Hello, thank you for the work.
Lurk. No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself, to try and convince them that I didn't. You saved me. Thank you.
You're welcome, Carlos, but it's my job to...
No, I mean, thank you for not asking.
Huh?
For not asking if I killed her.
Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all.
Dun dun
Dun, dun, dun!
dun.
The blood's always different. Heart's always in the same place. Easy to find. Heart's a mess. But the blood's always different. Flaring stain unfurling towards an invisible sun. A perfectly unique bloom, only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with a single universal meaning, vitality at its climax. Bursting forth into a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite the end. But the comical thought of the body hitting the floor has its own kind of lowbrow appeal. Pull number 66, the gun's empty. It's useless to me now, may as well leave it. Took a waste, but whatever. Finding the ammo is almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I could sell an untagged gun for a fair bit of cash. Cash can't buy peace of mind. Don't look so surprised, the lady. Moping around here in the dark. Around the dark here, must have only been able to see my silhouette. I think I was her boyfriend, back for an encore of that enthralling conversation. And ask him now.
Hey.
No!
Hey, did you hear that?
Yeah. These little pieces are so goddamn light. People aren't even familiar enough with the sound anymore to know to run the other way. To fully rise half the neighbourhood. I didn't see anything I could use, even a partial suppressor on the way in. Could I really not afford some throw pillars? 5 other bullets in outdoor spaces, in small spheres of blind opportunity the city's eyes can pierce. Countless places, usually full of trash. This room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean. Organised, even. So the corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except there's shit on the floor. By the window, looks like some broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. I love this sort of like realistic style that plays against the normal cartooniness.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just one thing nice. Actually, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. Stupid goddamn mirror. 5 perfect crime scenes, each of them not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. For the fourth and for the final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner to ruin everything. I kick the wall. Something falls from it. Probably more tasteless bullshit. I toss it with a chair, knock it down, turning to the sheets of my frustration. Hello, Master! What is something to see? Cut the sheets of my frustration, try to savor the shredding. Can't be clean, just to lean into the messy angle. At least it will be consistent. How you doing, Master?
Somebody's got OCD.
No. This is all so stupid. I get to play of the devil, a game I've been threatened to play for a while with a very good friend of mine, Stripey.
Hey.
Yeah. And we are sharing a delicious $7 because we are both ill.
And coffee is the world's medicine.
Yeah, honestly.
Or maybe even medicine for the Faes.
Yeah. It's the only thing that we can actually drink. All the water in the Feywild is actually just made of coffee. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down with single shots? Yes. But so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but... Ugh. Heartbreak killer? Really? Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What a miserable, lifeless we are as we're obsessed over something that's none of their business. All the threads and breakdowns and goddamn theory crafting over the heartbreak killer. It's like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. I feel insulted by the label, but no, that's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. He's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... Well, I'm sure people will come up with something. They got rejected one too many times, or whatever. Me? I killed these people because I saw them and I wanted to. Killed a lot more than just 6. At least the room's thoroughly trashed now. I just walked out of here after seeing that mess by the window. It would have irritated me to no end. And now it doesn't match the MO of the last 5 Paris fleet. It'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Excuse me. Hate it in heartbreak. Enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savour it. I'm going home. The air is weighty tonight. Thick. Energised. Heavily foreshadowed summer rain. I can feel in every hair.
No, it's just that guy outside taking a leak.
Yeah. I walked by a man taking a piss. I love how this is just the speech from the beginning again. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like those short moments just after the shower turns off, the steam lingers. Yeah, it's always most comfortable right after. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive can be comforting. Can be comforting too. Well, the guilty ones are on. I don't know about that. I know I've never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk. 5:01 AM, June 5th, 2086.
Sorry, using my left is still...
Hang on, I wanna double check something.
sizable.
Dislikes cabs, musicals, cashews, airports, worn shoes, and firm beds. Lockport.
Firm beds, huh?
Yeah. Oh. Heartbreak.
Oh.
Is now just honest.
Cannot carry a tune. Oh.
Favorite dish, mapo tofu. Hobby, batting cages, dislikes nosy people, mud, headphones, high places, gambling, guns.
Criminal defense attorney.
Actually, what?
Conflict of interest.
So yeah, no, like, Morgan's, this little photo of Morgan changes between Heartbreak ends. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, bubbly lawyer versus actual serial killer. That's okay, you can just initial in these sports. I took the scenic route home, courtesy of a fine city sprawling public transportation, and got in a bit after 11 PM. Had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, did some stretching, made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 PM, a posting for a public defender work came up. Decent rate since it was so late and so urgent. I had wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have had enough sense to ask for a lawyer, and enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. All I had to do was stay away. There isn't much competition after 1 in the morning.
Okay, where else?
Here and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Why wouldn't I take a job when I already knew there were more than the cops? It's been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. We've gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There would be doubts, questions, appeals, maybe even fans depending on his looks. More attention on HK and his crimes, more headaches. Cold case running the far back to the public's awareness is always preferable to one open and shut in haste. Now with no murder to match in HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find the culprit. Now Heartbreak can just start to death out of sight and mind like any other fluke in the system. Almost done! Getting involved with the case this intimately does have its risks. Hell, I might even overdone things here or there. Like lighting up a smoke inside an interrogation room just to make doubly sure I didn't still smell of gunpowder myself. The London fellow seemed to be more fixated on it than I would have liked. But obviously, everything turned out rosy. And it was worth it for the finality of it all. Seeing the authorities' failings from the best seat in the house? That's just a bonus.
Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diane is grateful too.
Funny, I didn't even know her name. something the matter?
No, sorry. It's just... I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So when she died...
Death was instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine she was in any pain. I can guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground.
No, I know, but... I just keep thinking that she must have died angry at me. That she must have died hating me.
Present evidence! To tell you the truth, Carlos, there is something I've been wondering about myself.
What is it?
Something I noticed in the attic tale that I didn't quite understand. This is the puzzle I couldn't quite fit anywhere else. But maybe you can make sense of it. Are you a nasty, nasty drug boy?
What is it? Where did you find that?
That pill organizer was found in the victim. She had it grasped in her hand and she died. So the police added it to the attics, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. It seemed like it contained tryptophan, prescribed to help motors with phantom itches. A small tablet, so there's a tricky clasps too for a pill organizer. It can be hard to handle with one unsteady hand. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. If they did, things are complicated. Feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. As far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week. To my eyes, anyway.
No.
Aww.
And then I killed her.
And then I shot her again for good measure. Long night. Let's see Farage now. Practically rubbing it in his face. It's not like I don't care about his feelings, although I'll ever see him again. Over 7 like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why does he even bother? It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I'll just need to show more strength next time. Though there won't be a next time for Heartbreak. McCann's in custody. There's no more bullets left. There won't be a 7th victim. There won't be any more leads to pursue. The meteor will move on to their next obsession. I'll move on to my next MO. And no one will ever...
You.
District Attorney in Rockford! She's moving like a serial killer. She's a horror movie villain.
Sorry, can I try that again? I'm so fried.
By all means.
Ugh. Chancellor Morgan, morning, noon, or night, you're always so put together.
Thank you.
I don't get it. How do you sleep at night?
Pardon?
You do white noise, aromatherapy.
I do like that the district attorney is kind of plump.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice change of pace from like everybody being super skinny or super fat.
Yeah. Whatever you're doing, I need to steal it. God. I must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters.
Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockhart. She's a prosecutor, the lawyer who argues for the state in court, trying to prove the defendant's guilt. Despite her sometimes unkempt appearance, she's probably the sharpest person to fill the position in decades. I should know, as I haven't been there once. But yet, she has the remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. It's part of what makes her good at her job, and hard for me to read.
I buy a new mattress.
I'm gonna... Never mind. Oh, we don't have a profile!
You can't get information from her that easy.
What have they got you doing at this ungodly hour, Emma? Haha, I just stole your name!
It really is Death Note. Dead pixels.
Likes coffee, toffee,
Coffee.
hot kuchia, just like sunburned dead pixels ice cream, eggs and Benedict.
Person, yes.
Plays chess, shogi, idol, savant stars. Does she play a fucking gotcha game?
Yeah, I was thinking, is that like ensemble stars and like what's the idol that they're
Like that
doing?
new one that came out, that's just like all anime characters, but like women.
I have no idea. I'm not up to date with all them gachas.
Aye?
Oh well, actually, I'm here for you.
Me? Are we going out on a date?
Your client was a suspect in the heartbreak killings. That's my case.
Well, you must have been relieved finding that you won't have to go to trial against me.
That sounds like half of all gachas.
Yeah, honestly.
Exactly. I think, is it Idolish 7? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Maybe?
Idolish 7 with the boys, and then there's Ensemble Stars. I think they might have like put the two together to make that. I'm not sure though.
That would make sense though.
Mhm.
Well, then you must have been relieved when you have to go to trial against me.
No. Why would I be worried about going up against you?
So who's the unintended part with her? So, you're working with those detectives.
Yeah, London and the new girl. Rez.
Just an Animal Crossing, like, Boba bar.
They've been reporting to me in preparation for trial.
Preparation and trial, that seems... just...
I guess I gave you the rundown. And they've been doing everything they can, but... it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little.
It's hard to kill who's leaving so little behind. So, I told you they had HK in custody and you popped out of bed all excited and to run down here?
Hardly. Does this face look excited? The little sparkle at the eyes, oh my god. I haven't slept in 48 hours.
She's so proud.
Okay, El Lolia. Too much on my mind.
I can't believe this is alternate universe Aesar.
So when I heard about a case with a single female victim shot through the heart, yeah, my ears perked up. But that's about all.
Oh?
I mean, Carlos Flat, a serial killer? The same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks.
She's not using his middle name. Also, can I just say that she has a JoJo's voice?
He was found with a murder weapon.
But I can answer that any number of ways. Aye! That may be 3, but...
But then I glanced at the report.
You glanced at it.
No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes.
Right.
Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about. His dominant arm modded with documented sensitivity issues. Never could have made shots that clean. Not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention, he's too tall for the ballistics entry angles. And probably too heavy to not leave imprints.
She got all that from a glance.
Look at the little pout.
Right? Oh, this is so cute.
But I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself pointed all that out the minute you walked in here.
Of course. The worst part is she's not even being sarcastic.
Yeah, of course it couldn't have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative, so not the type to bottle things up. He didn't match the profile.
Profile?
Yeah, the... Right, sorry, you've probably never heard of it.
I don't know what a goddamn profile is. Let me pull up my serious mode for a quick sec, yar.
A profile is a reconstruction of a criminal's psychology based on evidence from their crimes. Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Not much need to guess about the why when 99 times out of 100 the who is caught on camera.
Or before they even leave the house.
I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it. But I think I'm getting the hang of it.
Heartbreak some more. Well, at least this heartbreak maniac will slow down that he's lost his weapon.
He didn't lose it. He chose to leave it behind. That tells me he's confident he can do just fine without it. And it just makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills.
But there are other shootings with the same and more.
No, not that I found.
Other victims that fit the description.
No. But I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people.
That's true.
Hell, they kind of look like me. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun!
Sure. What, you don't see it?
I hadn't thought about it.
The point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. And getting things that perfect takes practice. So I know that HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice, Morgan. And that's why I think heartbreak is a misnomer.
You got something catchier in mind?
I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy and their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills guaranteed, no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. Their real signature isn't the bullets or the gun. It's the perfection.
That's hard to wrap your head around.
I'm saying that these 6 murders were just a fluke, a slip-up,
A mistake.
Exactly, a mistake. And they got too clean, too efficient, and now they've got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed.
Are you talking about the crime scene?
Yeah, probably threw the detectives for a loop, right?
Based on what you've said, I can't blame them. For a trash that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator you've been describing.
On the contrary,
I don't follow.
this was the last bullet, their last shot, and the other 5 were perfect. So if anything was out of place this time around, they must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum.
You make them sound like a child.
Childish, and cowardly, and two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win.
Your profile tell you all that.
That? No. That part's just... takes one to know one.
About profiling. So this profiling, it's some kind of investigative technique.
The theory is that a crime can tell you something about the nature of the person who committed it. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion, rage, lust, they probably knew their victim. Poison and guns, meanwhile, suggest they can't overpower their victims physically. And then there's the things you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few or no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of recurring themes in their stories.
Detectives say that HK doesn't leave evidence. So much can these crimes possibly tell you?
And that he's diligent, almost perfect, highly intelligent, painstakingly organised, and with enough criminal connections to get his hands on an untagged firearm.
It's rare to see her this animated outside the courtroom. It's almost like she's enjoying herself. This is the day now!
He's excited.
A sheltered house cat is picked on the scent of a mouse for the first time.
A lone wolf, educated, but...
all her playfully lethal instincts coming to life.
probably overqualified or undervalued.
They're not thrilled about the fact that in this metaphor I would be there.
Know what I mean?
Definitely.
And considering the marksmanship,
The detective said that HK would have needed insider information about optics. So does that mean that heartbreaks in the law enforcement?
never in 10 billion years.
Oh.
Antisocial, independent, despises authority. That'd be like a stallion applying for a job on a merry-go-round. They'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation.
Right, that's exactly how I put it.
There must be some connection to the police, though. Maybe secondary or tertiary.
Tertiary.
These types can't help but insert themselves.
Insert themselves. I do not do anything even resembling that. Wait, if HK's not a cop, how do you know about the blackout payment?
Crime metastatistics analysis, probably.
Pardon?
Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes and delays, chart out the dips and... Sorry. Technical, I know. But all the requisite data is publicly available. With a map, a spreadsheet, a calculator. Anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to.
That is such an unpleasant thought, MR. So to summarise, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless, perfectionist killer who you think has no precision MO or victim type.
In a city with an 8-digit population?
Well, good luck.
I don't need luck. I only need more information.
I'm sure the city would be happy to provide you with more resources.
No, Morgan. I need more crime scenes.
Or...
Sad truth is, if Heartbreak walked away today, I'd never catch them. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies.
Not a very fair trade, is it?
No, it isn't. But getting screwed over is a given. It's a deal with the devil.
Fair enough.
Woof. Okay, that round was pretty morbid and detailed.
Blood for the blood guys!
Woof.
Woof! Blood for the blood
I need to get out more. Or sleep more. Or sleep less, but harder. You think a higher Fred count would help?
Don't worry about it. I'm always having to listen to your ramble. It's not more pleasant than having to face you in the courtroom.
Sorry, but that's that word.
Adversarial?
So no hard feelings, yeah?
No hard feelings. We're both just doing what we do.
Huh?
I could use a cup of coffee. How about you? I stuck a cigarette in my last cup of coffee.
Don't tempt me.
If you fall asleep face first onto the table, I won't even take a picture.
Okay. Just don't expect this to make a difference next time we're at each other's throats.
Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation. And the police will have moved on to cases they can actually stand a chance of closing. It's what people do. Gay! Gay! Gay!
Hey!
They're lesbian! But am I?
Looks like them boobs, jeez.
Yeah. She'll sit aside and work a dozen other cases, never bring your own. But in the private corner of that frustratingly shut mind first. Thank you for the jump scare, Granati. Continue to whittle away at it. Never quitting, never anything but never quitting either. So I can't afford to take my eyes off her. As long as that's the case, I might as well try to enjoy the view. No problem. Oh, that is the gayest sentiment ever.
And it ends with a fart.
Yar. Well.
Oh.
I think this is yours.
Android.
Yar. Which means you're
Is this
going
the
to
one
be living with my friend for a while.
Is this the one that was called Fran?
No, Fran is the brat. I think this is the assistant character.
For how long?
I'm sorry, I don't know her. Dang it, that's something your brand,
I'm a warm android.
There's no need to look that upset over it. It's me, Detective London.
Oh god. My face barely moved.
Might as well have been plain pound from where I'm sitting. Yeah, like that.
This friend of yours, they're trustworthy?
Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone. Hey, come on, it'll be fun. You'll commit murder, be a warm android.
Really?
Really. Educational, too. I think you'll stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. And Morgan.
Incoming killer android.
Incoming Murderbot!
Murderbot.
Oh my god! So could you imagine if instead of becoming a Murderbot, this android that's being sent to us becomes like, say we kill our opposing prosecutor, right? And because the android is like a good person deep down, they become the prosecutor who Morgan cannot kill.
God.
Wouldn't that be so good?
I'm curious how this game's gonna...
Yeah, no, like, episode 1 is out, but we haven't gone for like 3 hours, and we're both sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to go make dinner now.
Oh, the devil.
But I'm glad we were able to get this done. Oh wait. Oh, is this
we
like a
don't need
little
to do this. This is just spoilers for next time.
Okay, we don't want them spoilers.
We don't want no spoilers.
Even though Faes spoiled the entire first episode by continuously telling everyone who the murderer was.
Listen. We already played through the first episode.
True. At least we finally get a recording for you.
Yar.
And then I'm so excited because looking at this title screen, and it's the same as the art that you got.
Yeah, no, I gave KayRay I gave KayRay like the title screen to go off of, and I'm so happy with what they've done with that.
Yeah.
By the way, chat, you can find the art for this over on my Twitter and my Blue Sky. Yeah. It was done by the amazing KayRay.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. I love it so much. It's so good.
We need more art from them.
I was thinking like maybe hiring them to do cappuccino chat at some point, but like
all the thumbnails.
All the thumbnails. Yeah, I was thinking about like hiring them to do cappuccino chat at one point, but like I want to wait until the next game since I already have a card. But yes.
Do you know what the game's gonna be that for your next game?
After we're done with In Stars and Time. I'm sorry stuck right now. I know I want to do Coffee Talk because I think that'll be a good follow up to In Stars and Time. And then I also have Tavern Talk, which I want to try out.
Yeah.
And
I think I might have had a game called Coffee Talk.
Yeah.
I think I got it in like an itch.io bundle. I don't know if it's the same one that you're talking about.
If it's a visual novel where you're serving coffee to like fantasy creatures, then yeah.
I don't know about the fantasy creature bit, but it was definitely called Coffee Talk.
Yeah, I can send you the Steam page for Coffee Talk. Yeah, thanks for sticking around. Hang on, I'm gonna show Strifey what Coffee Talk is and see if she can confirm that.
Wait! It is. I think it definitely is the one you're talking about. I just read the word fantasy. Look, I already have the game.
Oh hell yeah!
I was actually thinking I might play that too. I was thinking because, like I said, it was a part of the Palestine charity type thing, Palestinian relief bundle, and you like paid a small amount and it went towards the Palestinian relief, and you got like a whole bunch of like little indie games. So there's a few like visual novels among that.
Yeah, no, like Coffee Talk is really good, and apparently there's a third Coffee Talk coming out soon. Called
Nice.
Coffee Talk Tokyo.
Is it fantasy too?
The newest installment of beloved coffee brewing and heart-to-heart talking simulator that brings warmth, heart, and delicious drinks to the previous games in all new cafe in Tokyo. But humans and yokai alike share their stories. And it appears there's at least one character from the previous games.
Here, there's a game that I want to play that's in the bundle, and it's called What Remains of Us, and it just says, Take care of a sopping wet cat of a man. Would you like to do some voice acting for that?
I would love to. Alright, let's go ahead and rate out. Who should we rate that into?
Who's on right now?
She here. We got Chio. We got. You know what? Let's read into somebody doing Monster Hunter. Let's read into Draft Break. Who is.
Oh, yeah.
An Odin
You'll be going off to do Monster Hunter next.
Listen. My true love, Monster Hunter. But yes, we're gonna go ahead and read out. As always, our raid message is all caps Burbraid. Norris. Burbraid, do be kind and follow all the rules in their chat.
I will see you tomorrow for BB&B.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for BB&B.
Mare.
Yeah.
Alright,
Alright, we'll read it out.